Hello, RWorld, and welcome back to RWorld Talk. I always say I'm excited, but I'm excited to start this new year with a new president. Welcome, David.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Immediate Past President.
How are you doing, Mr. President?
I am very well, thank you.
Awesome. Well, Happy New Year to everybody. We made it through to out of 2023 into 2024. David, I am excited that you're going to start fielding all the phone calls.
I am sure you are.
So why don't you tell us, actually, a little bit of backstory. You were actually the first guest on RWorld Talk, and now you're starting off 2024 as our first guest all over again. This is exciting. What's one of the things that you're most excited about for your year as president?
I think it's the growth. You know, we build relationships throughout this leadership journey, and growing as a person, but growing as a leader, and continuing that growth is so important, and instilling confidence in the membership, in the industry. And, I'm looking forward to really getting going and just growing. I think we all need to grow, and we all need to build relationships as we go through this leadership journey.
100% your year as president, you are going to experience a ton of growth. I know I did personally, professionally. You realize how far you could push your family members for support when they put their foot down and it's a hard stop.
But did the rubber band break?
Yeah, the rubber band broke. Yeah, I stretched them too far. But certainly the growth is challenging as it is, because you have to constantly challenge yourself throughout the entire year. It's very fulfilling when you get to the end of it and realize the person that you've become throughout this journey, which now never ends. Now that you're in this position, you're stuck with it. You're always going to be a past president. You're always going to be well respected for all the work that you put in and all the selfless service that you gave to our association.
Well, think about the amazing growth that you've had through this entire leadership journey, right?
Right.
In 2017, I graduated the local leadership academy, and obviously it was the best class ever. So we had a marriage there, so it's the best class ever.
You had a marriage?
Yes.
Who got married?
Scott and Laura.
Oh, no way.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Right
That's
on.
why it's the best class ever.
Did we talk about this on the last podcast? I feel like we mentioned this.
We might
you
have.
had
We
that
might have.
conversation.
That was a year ago, though.
Okay.
But you grow as a person, but you grow as a leader, and it's not just business wise, right? It goes into your personal life and understanding different personalities and being able to overcome challenges and obstacles. And certainly 2024 is going to be our share of some of them. So we certainly looking forward to the growth.
Well, our future looks bright with you at the helm. I'm happy that, certainly happy to pass the gavel on to you. So as past president, I know that how challenging this time commitment is. I didn't realize it when I was walking into my year, but certainly the phone doesn't stop ringing, the emails don't stop coming. But it's because we're so large. There's so much that's going on. We've got so many events that we're having, and then everything is constantly changing. And you're always the first point of contact for staff to let us know what sort of challenges are coming at us, so that way you can grab your executive team, pull them all together, and figure out how to best tackle that obstacle. But time management is going to be huge for you. That's a make it or break it moment, and it was a learning curve for me to really learn how to utilize my time most effectively. So how are you going to, what do you have planned for effective time management in 2024?
Well, the good thing is about 150 times you told me how important time management is throughout this year. So I am very well prepared and well versed in getting processes and systems. Right? It's just like being a realtor, a broker, or whatnot. Those people that are very busy and such. I mean, listen, I have 3 girls at home, right, and a wife. So when you're looking at 3 girls and a wife, I have to juggle a lot of things.
Yep.
I use my calendar very effectively. If it's not on my calendar, it doesn't exist. I do everything down from, dedicating time to soccer, dedicating time to, if I'm going to the gym or such. So every little thing that I'm doing or I'm tasked with is on my calendar.
If it's not on the calendar, you're not doing it.
Nope. it doesn't exist.
Well, you just inherited 42,000 more family members, so congratulations.
Awesome. Yeah. Can I hug them?
Yeah, you can hug them all, every one of them. So what are some of your goals for 2024? What do we have in store?
So, it's interesting because when you start out and you're thinking about goal setting and, the association is run by such amazing staff.
They're incredible.
And you're trying to come up with things that are maybe revolutionary or whatever. And you realize that like, they've already done a lot of this, So my goals are more on the improvement and the growth of the association as to maybe some of the perspective that I can bring.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, we don't always have to reinvent the wheel.
We do not. So I'm looking to develop systems or maybe more improve the systems and processes in order to inform and educate our members more effectively.
Okay.
Through maybe perhaps interactive simulators, the new technology that we've been discussing. I think it's very important to continue to improve that effective communication within our members.
Communication is definitely key. And I would say that was... we don't get a lot of complaints from our members who are engaged, but some of them will call you throughout the year and say, I'm not feeling the communication is coming back to me. I'm sending something up and I'm not feeling it coming back. That was one thing that I wish that I could have improved upon. So I'm glad that that's one of your goals for next year.
Yeah, it's everyone... it's funny, but it's like going to a wedding, right? And giving a gift and not receiving a thank you card, right? It's like you're pissed off. Honestly. So you do want to effectively communicate and you want to make sure that people feel important. And so that kind of is a good segue to my second goal.
Yep.
I'm looking to facilitate and improve the already member-centric organization so that every member feels important or valued. Okay. We want to, when we go to these events, we want to make sure that every, especially those first timers at those events feel the importance, feel the value. Like you said, I inherited 42,000 members as family. I want to make sure, I touch as many of those as I can and make sure that they feel valued and important.
Okay. Yeah, you did a fantastic job with that in 2023 as well. Whenever we traveled, went to convention, whatnot, you were always making sure that everybody felt like they were part of the team. If they were willing to come and spend their time and travel and be with us, we want to make sure that every one of those people really felt included.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you did a great job with that.
Thank you.
You already have a successful podcast, Breakfast with the Broker. Are you going to continue that in your year? Or are we going to be able to see David on multiple platforms?
Yes, little sporadic. I was very, very disciplined and consistent with it for over 6 years. Doing it every Tuesday. Now we probably are going to be doing it every few weeks, a couple weeks, and such. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I get to meet a lot of personalities. I think it does help you, as we talked about growth and leadership.
Yep.
Doing this podcast, I'm sure that you've grown, throughout the year.
Sure.
Doing these podcasts. They're amazing, and you get to meet all these different new, people that have different perspectives of life, different perspectives of business,
right?
And they're important members of society. So
yeah, you get a lot of aha moments coming out of your guests, and then at the same time, anybody who's listening in is sharing in that experience with you. So definitely some growth going on there. Where can we find your podcast?
So Apple, Spotify, pretty much everywhere where you can find it.
Okay.
It's called Breakfast with the Broker, and we have some pretty good content on there. Thank you.
Okay. So we've had some challenging times in 2023. Obviously, had the lawsuits that started popping up. One had obviously a verdict that we weren't very happy with. They're sure, obviously these copycat lawsuits are just going to keep continuing and crossing the nation. So what we focused on going probably, basically all of 2023 with the consumer campaign commercials that we were doing, it's all about articulating your value. So we want to articulate our value to the members. We want the members to articulate their value to the consumers. How do you articulate that value to our members and consumers? What are some tips that you can give us?
Well, I think first you have to really understand your business, right? Where are you getting your business and why do they use you? Too often realtors or even brokers don't have that value proposition, it should be a 1 sentence, 2 sentence thing that says, hey, this is who I am. This is why I'm different. This is what I'm going to do for you. And I think too often we're quick to say, hey, we sold this, or we listed this, or we're more into our accomplishments and less into our stories of the people, because it sounds a lot more sincere when you're posting on, hey, this, I showed 72 homes in 3 days, and I found this perfect place that my client sent me a thank you card, and I'm grateful for you on Thanksgiving, right? That has
sounds a little bit better than I sold this house in 1 day.
Right. So, I mean, listen, an influx of realtor members is great, right? But we also have to make sure that we do a really good job in telling our story and valuing what we are and what we do. Because unfortunately, not every realtor is created equal, and not every realtor wants to do the business that people do, right? And I think it's important to really understand your past clients, understand and appreciate, and just like we're going to appreciate and show the importance of the 42,000 members, they need to appreciate and be on those grassroots 100%. Of the clients and customers that they meet. So, make sure you're professional, make sure you tell your story better.
Yep, understood. So tell us about your executive team that's coming in.
Woo, man. I'm really, really excited. I mean, obviously, with you as the immediate past president, you've given me a tremendous amount of advice and have prepared me for 2024.
Oh, you're going to be prepared.
So, but you've instilled confidence that I am going to be prepared, even though I won't.
That'll give you. You can have confidence, but you will not be prepared.
That'll wane.
Yeah.
Jonathan Lickstein's going to be our president-elect. He's phenomenal. He's a bright guy, and he really adds a great deal of perspective. So I'm looking forward to him.
And you guys have really bonded well. I've seen your relationship change over the last course of the last 3-4 months. You guys are like two peas in a pod. You've got great senses of humor, and I think that he's going to be a real value to your year as presidency to help you along this journey.
I think it's important to be cohesive, right? It's really 100%. To understand, personally, right? In any team, whether it's, you have a realtor team, whether it's your family, whether it's your support team, like all real estate agents have a team, regardless of whether they're an individual.
Right.
They have the inspector, they have the landscaper, they have, all these people that the customers look for a resource from you. So we all have teams, but it's how, we kind of work with those teams, right?
Right.
And Jonathan Lickstein's excellent. And we've made a point to really try and come together and have some team building exercises to really strengthen the cohesiveness of the executive team.
Yeah, and he's good with technology.
Excellent. Yep. We have Monica Hands as our treasurer. She's amazing. She really, really adds a different perspective. She's been in leadership for a while before our merged association as well.
And I think she's got a master's in real estate from NSU. So she knows what she's done.
Yeah, she does. And she brings some really good understanding of the real estate business and the industry, and I'm looking forward to working with her. I'm also looking forward to working with Kenny Silverman. I mean, there's no one brighter, with that bright smile and that welcoming, inviting, inclusive nature that Kenny brings. He is going to be our first vice president. And he's basically effectively going to be with the regional boards and understanding them a little bit better. And there's no one better than him for that.
Yeah, especially if one of your goals are making sure that the members feel included. He's certainly going to be your boots on the ground to make sure that's happening.
There's not many people that don't love Kenny Silverman. Right. He's excellent. And then we have Carlos Aline, very bright. He's going to be our secretary. I've known Carlos for a while. We were on the same leadership academy in 2017. Yes,
Okay.
greatest class ever. That's why it is.
There you go.
And so, it really is a great cohesive team. Carlos Saline has a financial background and has been in the financial markets for a while. Is going to lend some of his perspective into that. And what that does to the members, though, is what really is important. Because when you have a cohesive executive team and a cohesive board, it only helps strengthen those 42,000 members. And we're looking forward to a great 2024.
Awesome. Yeah, he's definitely going to be a guiding light for us for sure, because there's some big financial decisions coming up that it's going to be great because he's got a financial background. It's going to be fantastic to have his voice at the table to make some big decisions this year.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, we've got big things coming down the pike. I'm going to leave the floor open to you. What is it that you want our members to hear about what David's going to do in 2024 besides just goals?
Listen, I'm always available, right? So I think part of the understanding is that not everyone knows who the local association president is or isn't, right? And this does give us a little bit more exposure. And I want them to understand that I am sincere and genuine when I say this. I will help anyone. If someone has a problem, someone has an issue, someone wants to bounce something off, a scenario off, I am available. I tend to be pretty responsive, much more by text than
he's not lying. He is really always available. I call him all the time.
But I mean, it's amazing to understand that our association, as large as it is, has really done a good job in trying to value the importance of each member,
right? And
really understanding each member's needs, because all members' needs are different. Right. And there's, 72 balls in the air at the same time. We need to make sure that we give it to, we design products or design systems and processes that help us effectively do that. And we are. And I'm looking forward to a great 2024, one with collaboration, one with inclusion, and one with the importance of each member. So,
okay. And your installation is right around the corner.
It is.
We're going to have a good time.
We are definitely going to have a good time. Unfortunately, it's sold out by now, but you could see it on Facebook Live and all the other stuff that people are going to be posting. But it's going to be about the rock experience, and that rock experience is really going to bring the audience as part of this. As part of the installation, because I want to, again, value each member.
Right. And that's taking place in Palm Beach at the Kravis Center.
Yes. Yeah, Kravis Center, January 12th.
That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited. Okay. Well, I know that you're a busy guy. We already went through this question on the first podcast that we did last year. So you're going to have to give us
a halftime show?
No, we're not going to talk about the halftime show. No, we're going to stay away from that one. Why don't you tell us about another Florida gem that you love? Something that you love about living in South Florida, whether it's a restaurant or an art gallery or anything.
So I'm pretty much born and raised in Boca Raton. Okay. So my city is amazing. And I say my city because I just really love it. I'm living in downtown Boca now, and been to the downtown Boca parade. I marched in the middle school band in the downtown Boca parade.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did.
What'd you play?
I played the clarinet because my mom wouldn't let me play the saxophone.
Okay.
But no, I played the clarinet. And
wait a minute, why wouldn't she let you play the saxophone?
Because it was more expensive.
Oh, okay. Was it a clarinet or a recorder?
No, it was clarinet, a real clarinet. But it really was. The city of Boca has so many amazing parks and beaches and shopping, and it's just a vibrant society. It's not like the Boca del Vista that Seinfeld, proudly put out there. But it really has become younger and diverse, and I'm really proud of where the city of Boca has become, and I love my city.
Okay. Tell me if you know the answer to this question. Where did the name Boca Raton come from? Because in Spanish, that's the rat's mouth.
The mouth of the rat.
The mouth of the rat. Where did that come from?
So I think it's on the map, but honestly, I'm not positive. So I'm not positive where it exactly came from. But we've always called it the mouth of the rat and the rat city and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, so no Googling, but if anybody knows the answer to that question, go ahead and post it on David's Facebook wall.
Yeah, please do. Well, now I'm going to Google after this.
No, you can't Google.
I can't Google? Why not?
No, to wait for somebody to
Hold on, wait. Let me do Google.
No, don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, well, good luck in 2024. I think that you are absolutely going to be one of the best presidents we've ever had. I truly believe, because I know you, that you are doing this for the right reasons, that you have nothing but the members' best interests in mind. This isn't something that you got into this position because you were looking for a title. You saw some things that you wanted to change. You decided to get involved. You went through Leadership Academy. You've served on committees, and you're here for the right reasons, for our membership, and to make sure that our profession is going to be even better than the day that you took hold of it. So thank you for putting in all that work. You're going to have an incredible year ahead. It is work. It's a lot of work. And I just think that you're going to do a fantastic job with it.
Well, I appreciate it. I mean, I think in anyone, if I have one piece of advice to the members out there is make a difference. Money's great and whatever, and you need money in order to fund the things that you really like to do or whatnot, or what you need. But it's important. It's much more rewarding to make a difference. So we're making a difference in the real estate industry, whether it's making a difference through charitable causes or making a difference in your family, your personal life. But make a difference because it's important to those around you, and surround yourself with good people. Yeah, and that's why I'm with RWorld, because we really are a lot of good people.
We are a lot of good people. Yeah, do it all for the right reasons. Go out there and make sure that you're constantly giving back, and the money will follow.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Immediate Past President.
Well, thanks for being here, Mr. President. I'm excited. I'm actually I'm really excited. I think that our membership is blessed that you're in the role that you're in, and I can't wait to see what the future has in store for us.
I can't wait to be Immediate Past President.
And you're just getting started. Okay, guys. With that, thank you all for joining us, and we will see you right back here next week on RWorld Talk.